Okay, last minute checks, everything check. Houston, we have a problem. Check. There's always a fucking problem. I fixed the redemption. Frankie, thank you very much. Yeah, even though you call me stupid, I guess you never fucking did a typo, but that's okay because I wouldn't have caught it. I appreciate that. Well, Oscar Electric checking in. I'm not going to be doing too many. I'm not going to be doing too many of the comments today. If you want to come on and super tip, I'm going to be talking about John most of the show. I got a lot of people, so I'm putting this out there. Fuck around and find out if anyone has a new YouTube account within the last 2 months. You're not here. You're gone. I got Oscar and my boy Pete here. I'll introduce Pete in a minute, but there you go. So anyway, there's going to be a very serious show today. There's a lot of crazy shit. Thank you. I'm going to try to acknowledge people, but if you have any this is I've been watching. I've been watching this whole Dabbleverse sort of implode on John, and he's like a cornered cat, and he's been bashing me nonstop and doing a lot of really hurtful, awful things. And it took a little bit for me to think about it, and I'm going to address that today. I think there's something seriously much worse going on with him than everybody's allowing. And so we're gonna talk. I have a bunch of people that'll be jumping on, and it's going to be a very serious show today. There's going to be no humor whatsoever. I'm really genuinely serious about this. I want to show you my shirt. See my shirt. Be kind to everyone. That I want to say thank you to Jordan Summers. She was nonverbal autistic up until like a couple of years ago, and be kind is one of her favorite terms. She's now mostly verbal, and they have uh, a t-shirt company that I support, and everybody knows somebody who's autistic, and it's not easy to be a parent of an autistic child. So the Be Kind company, I wore it today specifically because I want to be kind. I just it's just a lot of ugly things going on that I just don't understand. So we're going to address that today, and we're gonna. I have some people waiting in the wings. First, I want to introduce my man. I know everybody. It's going to have my name on it because Evie Mux is not recognizing the second camera's name that I have here because he's right next to me. Okay, well, he's going to be running my super tips. I just want everybody to see that. It's not Jerry. Okay, it's no beer guy. He's much more handsome than Jerry. This is Jerry Pitts. Everybody, thank you very much. He's going to be moderating along with Oscar Electric. And I'm trying to, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, it's going to be a super tip day. And we have a lot of people coming on. So, and I guess we could bring the first one on because he makes this show much better. My mom loves this guy so much, by the way. You know my mom loves you, Chauncey, right?
I do know your mom loves me. Even though we never met, I know that your mom loves me. I love your mom.
Yeah, no, you guys,
One day we'll meet.
she loves your story. No, it's not Jerry. It's Pete Pitts. He's an actor out here in Hollywood. You guys say hello. I want to make sure everybody can hear you.
What's up, everyone? How y'all doing today?
Uh,
Welcome to the show.
yeah. Well, I wanted there's cameras on him, and there's no buffoonery going on, no chicanery, and from extra to running. Yeah, he's Ryan. He's an actor, and he's making money and a living off of it. So even if you're an extra, that doesn't mean you're not an actor. So anyway, Chauncey's here because. Why are you here, Chauncey? John said that he was going to tell everybody the real reason why you moved to
Yes.
Monahan. But didn't you write a book about that?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. John keeps throwing it out there that he's going to tell the real reason why I moved to Ireland. And he keeps threatening that if I keep saying things about John, he's going to tell the story, the real story that he knows why I moved to Ireland. So it makes me laugh because number one, I have a book coming out about it in spring of 27 by Sky House Publishing, Simon and Schuster. But I'd be willing to say right now, briefly, what the real story is, and it's the truth. So whatever John says, that's not what I'm about to tell you is bullshit. Because I'm not ashamed to tell the story, even though it doesn't paint me in a great light. I'll
Well,
tell you the story.
before you
The-
even go into that, I just
yeah,
want to say, right, it's brave of you to tell the story because it's personal. But if anybody out here has anything to say about John's personal life and his family, to me, that is off limits. I'm not going to talk about that. That's none of my business. Family and children should not be a part of picking people apart. We're all fucking adults here. Let's make a reality of the situation. It's a fucking podcast on YouTube. Okay,
and
when you start bringing people's family life, and this includes fucking John's family. Okay, I don't give a fuck what he has to say about me, but these people are an innocent part of John's fucking train wreck. Okay, and it's not fair to bring them in. I don't care if he does it. I won't do it. It's not going to happen. And Chauncey, he's been very public about his situation and everything that's going on. So Chauncey, I'm going to let Chauncey talk about it. But attacking innocent children and family members that don't deserve it, it's not happening on my fucking YouTube channel. It's not. So I just, with that saying, you're gonna bring up John's fucking children and his family. Don't do it on my fucking channel because I'm not going down that road. If John has a beef with me, then we stick it between me and him, not anybody else that's outside the fucking circle of this fucking YouTube channel or this Dabbleverse. It's awful that people bring in other people's family members. They're innocent. And Chauncey, with that, please go ahead and tell us what's going on.
all right. Well, first of all, to those who don't think a book is coming out, I've already signed the contract. I flew to New York 3 weeks ago to meet Tony Lyons to sign a contract with Skyhorse Publishing. They just put the memoir by Melania Trump out, and they put many other books out. Um, they're probably the hottest publisher in the world right now. They just bought the rights
Well,
to
this
my
is this
story.
is a first. You said you couldn't talk about this. Now you're talking about it.
Well, I'm talking about that I signed the contract. Yeah, I can't get into details about what's in the book because they want people to read the book. They don't want me to tell it all on a podcast and then nobody
Of
needs to
course
read
not.
it.
But that's huge news that you just got signed to Simon and Schuster for your book.
Yeah, well, Skyhorse Publishing, and it's distributed by Simon and Schuster.
That's
So they'll
fucking
be
huge.
the distributor.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, it's big, and I was hoping it would come out this summer, but because Simon and Schuster did all their catalog already, they want the book to be in the front of every bookstore and have a big push for it when it does release. So they want to hold off and wait until the spring of 27 to really build over these next few months a giant promotion for it.
That
So
would drive me fucking nuts.
it's driving me nuts, but they're right. They're so right. I need to just relax and keep busy and not think about it because when it does come out in the spring of next year, it's going to be gigantic. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. But I'll tell you what the secret that John has on me that he's threatening to tell everybody is this.
Well, I love this because we're just taking the wind out of his sails, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah. So this is the story. It will take me 5 minutes to tell it. So,
Okay.
so I was married and living in Glen Rock, New Jersey, and I was working with Stepping Out, and I was doing Fox News and CNN and MSNBC, and I was writing for Penthouse and Playboy. I had a really good career going. And I started drinking a lot. I started drinking a lot of dirty martinis. I got addicted to dirty martinis. And after three, I was a lunatic. And I started drinking four, five, six, going out and just getting nuts. And I started dating this bartender and cheating on my wife and in the city at a place called Rosie O'Grady's, the one
Wow,
on
guys, it's
47th Street.
gone, Chauncey. It's not there.
It's gone. The one on 47th, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
by
it's
Fox
gone,
News.
man. I spent a lot of time in there myself.
Yeah. So I was dating the bartender, and one day I went in to meet her, and this little Irish server comes up to me and says, "I got to talk to you about your girlfriend." And she pulls me aside and says, "She's cheating on you. That's her boyfriend sitting at the end of the bar. She's making a fool of you." So I go nuts. I went crazy. They had to throw me out of the place. I threw bottles over the bar. It was a bad moment in my life. And this girl, this little Irish girl, she said, "Listen, if you ever need to talk to somebody, I'll have tea with you, and I'll talk to you about everything I know, and if you just need someone to talk to."
And this is while you're married,
I'm married. I'm cheating. And now I'm
and
cheating.
you're throwing a fit on your side piece.
I'm angry that my side piece is cheating on me. and
Yeah.
my wife is home.
Oh
So
God. Yeah. Oh my God. Those martinis must have been awesome.
yeah, yeah. So Kettle One, by the way. So I start meeting this server for tea. I've never had tea in my life, but we meet at this little cafe on Broome Street, and after about our third meeting, the tea turned into something else, and we got
Was it your
intimate.
penis?
Yeah, we got intimate. We it ended up getting intimate. I didn't know much about her, but she was so pretty, like really, really pretty, and I was out of my mind and not making good decisions. So about
Wait. So hold on. I gotta get this right.
yeah,
So you were cheating on your wife with the bartender at Rosie O'Grady's, and
yes,
then she was playing you because she had a boyfriend. You wigged out.
yes,
But so now the server that's there comes up to you and says, "Yo, what's up?"
yeah.
So
She comes
now
up
you
to
went
me.
from the bartender. So you went from the side piece number one to side piece number two.
Yeah, her line to me was, "You have nice teeth," and no one's ever said that. And I was like, "Oh, that's so nice of you to say."
What are you talking? They
And,
look like chiclets. No, I'm kidding.
this is
They're better
before
than
I
my
had
teeth,
no. This
dude.
is before I had them done.
Yeah.
This is pre turkey teeth. No,
Yeah.
this is
Oh,
my. So this is like so. I know what
turkey teeth. That's great.
I didn't think they
Turkey
were
neck,
that
turkey
great.
teeth.
The actor knows. He's smiling. He goes, "I know. I
Yeah.
Hollywood smile, man. I know it."
Oh yeah.
So
Good smile.
Yeah.
so I start meeting her, and the tea turned into something else. And about a month later, she comes up to me and goes, "I have to tell you something. Um, I miss my period, and you're going to be a father to my child." And I'm like,
No.
"Well," I go, "I don't even really know you." I said, "I'm 52 years old." I said, "You look very young." I said, I don't want this. You have to. I'll pay for it, but you got to take care of it." She goes, "No, I'm from Ireland in a little town, and we don't do that. We don't believe in that. I'm going to have your child, and you're going to move to Ireland and be a sheep herder on some farm, and you're going to herd sheep all day and milk cows,
From
and
scores to a sheep
yeah,
herder.
well,
Nice.
I just leaving Fox News. I just did a segment on Fox News, and then I had a thing at ABC I had to do, and I'm still writing for. And now I'm going to be a sheep herder in Ireland to this
Yeah.
girl I don't even know and raise a child. So I blocked her. I blocked everything. I blocked her number, her email, and
Wait, well, 1 second, Chauncy. This
yeah.
guy's saying this is all made up. You said this before.
So if I said it before, why would it be all made up? Like,
Yeah, I know. I just like exposing some people when they're just
yeah.
trying to grasp at straws.
Well,
But
don't buy the book next year.
yeah.
Anyway,
So this is
so,
this is he said there's a new story that John's going to tell, but go on with your story because it's
oh,
fascinating.
this is well. This is the real story. So there may be a
Yeah.
news story, but it's not the real story. This is the real story. So anyway, I block her. She goes back to Ireland, and I think I dodged a bullet. Like I haven't heard from her in months, and she actually wasn't even on my mind anymore. I just thought she was full of shit. Maybe she wasn't even pregnant. So I'm home with my wife, and it's a Saturday morning, and the mailman comes and throws the mail in our little mudroom, and she goes to get it. She brings the mail in, and she goes, "Oh, you got a letter from Dublin. Who do you know in Dublin?" I said, "I don't know anybody in Dublin," and I really wasn't even thinking. I don't. So she opens it up, and it's pictures of my daughter the day she was born, and she goes, "You have a kid in Ireland," and she walks out of the room and hands me the pictures. So I'm looking at the pictures, and I see my daughter's eyes, and at that point, it changed my life. It changed me. It just did. They say a woman becomes a mother the day she becomes pregnant, and a man becomes a father the day he sees his child's eyes. And I think there's truth to that because
Well,
that's
you
what
think?
happened to me.
I think you know.
That's what happened to me. So long story short, I got a divorce, and
Wait, how did we? What was? Wait, we'll back up a little bit.
yeah,
What were the moments like after you realized that you saw your daughter's eyes and then you looked in your wife's eyes?
quiet, very, very quiet. I was so out of control at that point. I think she was done and I was done. Like it was a crazy couple, like 3 years of insanity. So I ended up I ended up getting so upset over this. I tried to jump off the George Washington Bridge, and so I'm on the George Washington Bridge. Cop sees me, and I'm going to jump. I'm gonna kill myself because I feel like such a loser that I did this to this woman and to my child. And this guy was a hero. He came out like an angel. He came out of nowhere, and the cars and trucks were zooming by. He stops. He grabs me. They put me in an ambulance and take me to Valley Hospital in Ridgewood, and I end up there in the psych ward. And then from there, I go through the process of what happens when you try to kill yourself. You have to go through all this type of mandatory therapy. But in the meantime, my heart, everything about what I did and how wrong I was to abandon this woman and not be there for my child, it changed my whole life. And as my head began to clear and I stopped drinking, I decided I was going to go to Ireland and try to find her. And I did. I went to Ireland and I looked for her. I didn't know where they lived exactly, but I knew the town. And I went through the whole town and didn't find anybody. Uh, I couldn't find them until I eventually ran into the grandmother. And the grandmother, who, by the way, is 10 years, I can't even tell you the best part yet. So when she got pregnant, I said, "How old are you anyway?" And she said, "Well, I'm 19." And I went, "You're
In an
what?"
odd way, I'd like to say good for you.
Yeah, you can look at it two
And
different
there's
ways.
another
You can give
way
me
it
a
could be
high
really
five, or
creepified, but go
you can give
ahead.
me a creepy high five.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I go on Facebook, and there she is in her school Catholic schoolgirl outfit. Like that's how recent she just turned 19. And
Wow.
I couldn't believe that I'm 52 and this 19-year-old is now pregnant with my child. So that's a part I left out. I don't mean to leave it out. Anyway, so the grandmother
Wait,
meets,
do you still have those pictures?
yeah,
Yeah.
the ninth. So the grandmother meets me and tells me she'll meet me for coffee the next day to discuss my daughter. And I do, and I come with teddy bears and balloons and photo albums. And she tells me about my daughter, and then she says, "Let me tell you about you." And she says, "You're a piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. Take all your photo albums and your balloons and your cards and shove them up your ass and enjoy the rest of your time in Ireland." And I was devastated. I didn't. I should have expected that because the grandmother was 10 years younger than me. Like I was too old to date the grandmother. So I go back home devastated, and then I get a text from the mom saying, "If you send us, 10,000 euro or something along those lines, and pay support every month, in 6 months I'll let you see your daughter."
And how
So
old was she at this time?
she was 3 or 4 at this point. So I send the money, time goes by, but I never hear from them again. So I have to make a decision now. Do I stay in America, keep my job, keep my life, keep doing what I'm doing, and then when sometime when I'm in, my 70s, I'll get a knock on the door and it will be this redhead grown woman saying, "I think you're my father." And that's what all my friends advised me to do. They said, "That's what you should do. She'll find you. Don't worry about it." But I couldn't do it. So I sold my house. I gave away. You can't really sell
So
stuff.
you went there first and got turned down, and then you came
Turned
back,
down.
and then you sold everything.
Sold everything and bought a one-way ticket. No coming back. One way.
Wow.
And I went there, rented a car, drove to the town, got a place to live, and the next day went to the courthouse and said, I want to be the guardian of my daughter, and I want to be on a birth certificate. I want this, this, and this. And they all kind of laughed at me and said, "Good luck with that." And then for the next 3 years, I was in court every month fighting to be for guardianship of my daughter and to have custody or access, not full custody, half custody. And that's all in the book and people can read it. But then for the next 3 years, that went on. To sum it up, I won everything. I became her guardian. I got custody. And to this day, she's 14 years old now. We travel the whole world together. We go to every place you can imagine, and we have the best relationship. I pick her up from school every day. I drop her off. We're great. But that's the story that John is threatening to tell. And if he says anything else, that's all bullshit because that's the full story.
Well, let's get into that because John is. I think he's in a really, really sad, bad place because he's just out of control and he's doing all this like really erratic, drunken behavior shit, and he just goes on his podcast, and it's like almost like going to the zoo and watching the monkeys. Like you can't, like it's unpredictable, and
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of this. Like he said some really horrible shit to me. I'm thinking that this guy needs an intervention, like a serious intervention.
Well, he seems to say the worst things when he's drunk, really drunk. He's always drunk, but
Well, I
he
have a
gets
clip. Should we watch that?
yeah. Let's watch.
Okay.
We have a super chat after that as well.
Okay. There we
It's
go.
funny. I saw this hot chick, so I'm dropping off my Drop it on my friend, the guy that, cleans the house for me. He's the one that feeds the cats, when I go away. Changes the litter boxes. And drop him off, and I see, and there's this hot chick who's walking up the driveway, right? At his sister's house. And I'm like, wait, a tree grows in Brooklyn? Bugs Bunny, thank you. And I'm like, wait, she's got a hot body. She's cute as fuck. I go, dude, do me a favor. As she's walking in, she looks at me. She thinks I'm like I'm mad because she took my parking spot or something. I said, dude, you got to go get me her phone number, please. So when I picked them up today to clean the fucking garage out, he got me a number. She looked me up and she's like, yeah, he's cute. Fucking A, going up. And she owns her own fucking cleaning company.
How can he strike? What's the difference here? Because there's people saying he's gonna strike my channel, but he's fucking played a shit ton of clips of me. Like, what's the deal with this shit? I don't know. So yeah, I think that I like, listen, I've known him, the guy, for 30 fucking years. I think he's screaming for fucking help, and I think that someone's got to do something. Like, is there anybody in his family that still speaks to him? What's the deal with that? I don't know. That's why it's puzzling to me.
I don't know either. I don't think anyone in his family still speaks to him. I don't know if there's anyone in John's life that cares about him enough to do an intervention at this point. And honest to God, I'm not being funny when I say this. I don't think John's going to live to Christmas. I don't. Would it shock anyone in the Dabbleverse if one day we heard John passed away?
That's why I think
Choking on his own vomit.
That's why I'm trying to not go down the road with him. Like, with all this, I could come back with a lot of bullshit and say some awful things about him, like he does to me and to you. And Pete, what do you think about all this? You're sort of like a neutral person that's just getting involved in this.
Well, we do have a super chat. I think honestly, from seeing you guys together, you guys had a lot of love back in the day. I can see there was chemistry. There still is a degree of like lifelong love, I think, between you guys. So it's sad to see. Do you want to go ahead and go to this super?
Yeah. So I think I
chat?
have a Cupcake. God bless you, Joe Cupcake. I think we fixed. Let's put it up and see what happens.
All right, let's try it out. Let's see. You ready?
Okay, it's small, but okay. So hold on.
You want me to read it?
I think I have to. It's from Anonymous. Someone says, you're both scumbag lowlifes with no talent or relevancy. And says Chaunce left for Ireland after he got caught harming animals and kids. Allegedly.
Well, I did step on my goldfish, so I guess I did.
What the fuck? Like,
But he had it coming. My goldfish had it coming.
Road. What's
My
that?
goldfish was talking back to me, so I stepped on it.
Yeah, no, I like, that's sort of grasping at straws. But if someone says that you're harming animals and children, is that why he's in so much legal trouble? Because he's suing Chauncey, he's suing Shuley. There's a whole big thing about what's going on with him legally, and it doesn't seem good. Like, he's got himself in a bunch of trouble. It seems like his lawyer dropped out of the case, and he has to go to Rochester now. I don't know does anybody have that information or what?
Anthony Cumia said he's suing John as soon as the Shuley lawsuit is over with. Then Anthony's going to sue him. So John has lawsuits backed up in the on deck circle. So it's not ending for him. He has like a lifetime of lawsuits lining up. But he has no money. What would be the point? John has nothing. He doesn't have a pot to piss in. So if you sue him, what's it going to achieve? Nothing. There's no point to it. He's not long for this world. He's not. And he has some fans and he has haters, and It's a whole big Dabbleverse thing. I get it. There are a lot of people making money from it. Everybody hates him. And then the people that hate him hate each other. So it's this big circle of hate. Everyone hates John, but there are subsets of hate where this guy hates this guy and this show hates this show. It's just a big hateful universe, and there's money coming into it because people. It's like watching a train wreck. People like listening to it because it's fascinating to hear all the hate, but it's so toxic. And when John dies, and he's going to die, John is going to die. What is going to be the next day like? What's going to be 24 hours after John is found dead, choked on his own vomit in his little house in Florida? What will be the next day like after John's dead? That's what I'd like to talk about.
Again, we're not threatening John in any way. Where this is a hypothetical situation based on
He's
his
going to
his,
dig
his
himself to death.
alcohol
Yeah.
and where but if he it wouldn't be a fucking happy day for me, I could tell you that. I was looking through some old pictures of me and John. I have them on my phone. I didn't have time to get them up on the computer. So, there's like, it's me, him, and Captain Jenks. We must have been in Philadelphia at some event. And I looked like a scared little kid, like the abuse that he put me through on a daily basis for 8 years is like unprecedented. I've never had anything in my life. I was on pins and needles every single day because I didn't know A, if I was being set up for a prank, or B, if he was just gonna fucking do something when nobody was looking. As far as like, my first day on the show, when I had worked at K Rock. I did a project for Howard, the Stern Show, and then when that project was finished, I went to promotions, and then finally Robin couldn't stand her news intern, and I got officially brought on onto the Stern Show, which means I knew everybody more or less, and I knew John, and I'd done a couple of things, and I literally, it was a daily fight because like Howard's desk was like a power play. And Howard's desk, like when Howard came in the morning, in the very beginning when I first started working there, his office was right behind Gary's desk. And it was a door, and it was a big desk. And Howard would come in the morning. This is before he even had Ralph doing his hair every morning. There was no cameras or anything. Howard would come in, he would read the paper and get whatever shitty breakfast I would get him. And then once he went on the air and left, that desk was John's desk. You could not go on the desk. Like if he was in the room, he had to be at the desk. So I don't know this. So it's my first day. Of course I got there before John, just in case he was late and Ronnie had to bring Howard up to the studio. I just happened to be there, and I had my head on the desk with the light off, and I was kind of like sleeping a little bit. You really can't sleep with your head on a desk, and all of a sudden I feel a presence like right here, and it's John standing there in the dark, and he goes, "Get the fuck up." And I said, "Excuse me?" He goes, "You heard what I said. Get the fuck up. Get out of that fucking chair." And I go,
Wow.
You could say please, because he goes, "I don't give a fuck what you think. Get the fuck out of the chair."
Wow.
This is my first day. This is my first like 20 minutes as Robin's news intern. And I said, and I'm from Brooklyn. I said, I think you should say please. And he was like, "You're a fucking intern." He goes, "I'll rip the nose off your face if we weren't here. I would destroy you." And I said, "You know what? This can't be my first day." I just got up and let him have the chair. And after that, that just dictated my whole entire relationship with him while I was there. And he tormented me on a daily basis, and I don't really talk about that, and he treated me like an insubordinate on and off the radio show, and I was always just like someone to do something he couldn't or didn't want to do.
But Steve, we were talking about this earlier off the air. In those days and through most of John's life, he got away with it because he was always in the public eye. He became famous. People hate hearing this. They get mad at me when I say it. But John became famous from the Stern Show. And if you don't think so, then either you're 20 years old or you're just a moron. John became very, very famous. And then he got on the Jay Leno show. And he got away with his personality because everybody wanted to be around John because you were with a famous guy who might be able to help you out, or it was just cool to be around somebody that everybody else knew. He was iconic. But when John lost everything, then it was like the emperor's new clothes. All he had left was his rotten personality and nothing else. And that's why he's such a pathetic character now. All he has left is his rotten personality. There's nothing else to John. There's no fame anymore. There's no love. There's no family. There's nothing good about him. It's just a rotten personality and being drunk. And that's as bad as it gets. That's rock
I
bottom.
was listening to him a little bit before I was setting up and getting everything. And again, thanks to Cupcake for coming through once again. And it was like, I guess, it's messed up because he had Rob Saul on his show. And Rob Saul was in a bad way, much like John is right now. But Rob Saul took responsibility for his life and went to rehab and came out. And think he did John's show in the beginning, and Rob Saul looks great, and he's got his life together. And I guess at some point, John starts fucking bashing Rob because of the rehab thing. And I'm like, what? How could that? I think that might say something because, maybe he saw that Rob had the balls to make a change in his life, and then he went after him, and now he sort of like was backtracking.
I don't think it's that calculated. I really don't. I think he's just drunk. There are people who, when they drink, are nasty drunks, and John's a nasty drunk. The more he drinks, the nastier he gets, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with why he doesn't have a family anymore and why he's divorced.
Well, again, I'm going to try to restrain from that.
I'm sorry. Sorry about.
No,
sorry
it's
about
okay,
it.
man.
Right.
I'm serious. I'm not going to be like him and go down and trash people's families
I'm
and
not
dig up
trashing his
dirt on
family.
people that don't deserve it.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to trash it. I'm not trashing his family. I'm just saying.
No, but just say in general, people in his life have
lost
left him
everyone.
alone because he's not someone you want to tolerate.
He lost everyone in his life, friends, everybody, because of when he drinks, he becomes this terrible human being. But he drinks all the time, so he's a terrible human being all the time. I bet you, if John was sober and could go a year without drinking, you would see a completely different personality in that guy. And he may be kind of a douche still, but he'd be lovable on a certain extent. He'd be likable. You could tolerate him. But when he's drunk, you cannot tolerate him. He needs to get sober, and you would see a different personality in that guy.
I was working on the show probably maybe 2 or 3 months when that whole DeBella divorce party went down in Philadelphia. And if anybody doesn't know, John DeBella was the head honcho in Philadelphia as far as morning radio goes. And Howard not only said when he becomes number one, his wife's going to divorce him, and then he's going to throw his wife a divorce party. Well, that's exactly what he did. And I couldn't believe that I got invited to go down to this. It was a big bus. Jessica Hahn was on the bus. It was like, I wasn't even 21 years old yet. I guarantee you. I was probably like 20 years old, maybe 19. And here I am, this kid from Brooklyn, sitting on a bus with Howard Stern, Jackie the Joke Man, Fred Norris, Gary, Stuttering John, and Jessica Hahn, what the color is her hair, Chauncey?
She's a ginger.
Guess who had a little chubby from Jessica Hahn?
Yeah.
So and she was so good to me. She treated me like a little brother. And I felt so bad because she was wearing like a topless see-through thing, and everybody was, and I felt so protective of her. I was like, Jessica, go put some fucking clothes on. But she knew what she was doing. She was awesome.
I'm going to stop you there for a second. This is a sidebar. You banged my assistant, April, and what color hair did she have?
I did?
Do you remember the pay-per-view beauty pageant?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Well, yeah, that's not her real name, but I'm friends with her on she's a big TikToker.
You're still.
Oh yeah, she's very political and very animal rights oriented. So she might hate you right now for killing that goldfish.
She probably hates me, but she was my assistant, and you banged her.
Well, yeah, I didn't. Dude, I did it because it was like. It was that New Year's Eve, and I did it while
I know you.
Somebody
I know.
else was sleeping. Somebody else was
sleeping
sleeping on the bed, and I was like, "How do I turn down sex?" You know what I'm saying?
I was very, very jealous.
She was
so
the
hot.
Quote girl.
She was
on the pay-per-view special. I didn't realize she was your assistant. That's funny.
My assistant, stepping
Yeah,
up.
I'm not going to give her real name out. April's great, but we're friends, but she won't respond to anything. Like I wanted to be like hi, but she's in a relationship, and I guess she's really like sort of committed and stuff. But I would not want to fuck with that girl. But she was kind of annoying to me at the time. But anyway, yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack you.
No. So now we go to Philadelphia. Me and Ganji. I couldn't believe they asked me to go. I've never been to Philadelphia before. And we get to the hotel room, and then me, Ganji, and John go out. And John bought a round of shots, and it was Jägermeister. And I was like, I've never been to Philadelphia. I'm like this wide-eyed kid looking around, and so I did the shot, and I didn't immediately say thank you. Like, and in my head, I'm going to buy another round, so it's like reciprocating. But I didn't say thank you. Like the moment I did the shot, he goes, "Yeah, we didn't even say fucking you're welcome." Chaunce,
It's not a
he
problem.
tortured me so bad
Yeah.
that I left. Like I left the bar, and I remember like not understanding what just happened. So you don't fucking so much I shot. You don't fucking say thank you. I was like, I just did it. Like what the fuck? He would not stop. You ungrateful bastard. This that. I'm like. So I literally left because there was a bunch of us all at the bar, and I just remember sitting on the steps of Independent Hall, going, "What just happened?" He tortured me relentlessly.
I know he did. I most recently I wrote a book called The 50 Funniest Comedians of All Time, and it was 50 of the funniest comics I've ever interviewed. And John sends me an email saying how insulted he was that he wasn't in the book. So John considers himself one of the top 50th comedians of all time. He wanted to be next to Sam Kinison, Dice Clay, George Burns, Richard Pryor. He thought he was in that group.
Chauncey, I think you may have to come back on the show with me because I am doing a Sam tribute show. I'm going to have Bill. It looks like Bill Malika and Paul Borghese, who was married to
Love Bill.
Malika after
Love
that.
Bill. Love Bill.
And so I think you may need to come on that show because I'm going to build it up. Bill, I was texting Bill. Bill said he'll come on the show in 2 weeks when he's got a lot of family in from out of town. Paul Borghese has a bunch of Sam Kinison memorabilia, and I think Malika. Yeah, there it is, right on the cover of your book. Everybody, if you want to go to the why couldn't it be 51 and you couldn't include John? What's wrong with you, bro? You had to do 50, nice and even. So, hold on. So I got other people telling me what's going on in another world here.
And we have super.
Oh yeah, okay, Pete.
got
Feel
two
free to
today.
jump in anytime, man. You're here. Handsome Pete Pitts, everybody. Say hello.
What's up, everyone? Yeah, I'm the silent guy, but I want these voices to be heard. So the first one's from BMC. You ready for it?
Okay, let's go. Wait, I gotta get my glasses on.
get your
Hey,
glasses.
Cupcake, well, you did good, but I can't see it. BMC, Steve, your heart is in a good place, but with John, you have to use your head. He's beyond help, and he doesn't want help. He did this to himself. You saw this coming, Peter. I wish I had that clip of Spider-Man. You knew this was coming, Peter. That's very nice for you to say, but I'm not. I know. So I'm not going to go down that road. And it's funny. I think he thinks I'm insulted when he calls me Gunga Din. I love that shit, but that's. But then if I tell him that, he's going to stop calling me. So, it's a nasty meal just sent me something. I want to see what he has to say.
I love the insults.
Yeah.
I actually get off on them.
Bill will not appear with me. Oh, he won't appear. Okay, so all right. So I would have Malika and Bill on two separate shows, but it's
I would do it. Bill, he sent me so many nice messages over the years.
Yeah, he's really nice. I visited his. I don't know if he still does, but he owned a theater somewhere in California. It was like he does like it was this beautiful little town. But anyway, him and his wife, we took him out. Me and my buddy Roy went there, and he took us out to dinner, and he showed us the theater. It was like an old theater he saved, resurrected. But I think he might. I don't know if that's still going on. But Bill Kinison is nice. Malika and Paul Borghese, I think, are still friends. How did that happen? You touch one thing, everything changes. So, but I had speech impediment on yesterday. Speech impediment man, Jeffrey Pines. You know who he is?
Yeah.
He's just a wonderful, sweet human being, and he's been doing stand-up comedy for fucking 20-something years. And when it's just funny just hearing coming from speech impediment man, he's like, John, I'm not a comic, like because he tells stories. Because I want to say, I don't want to do a bad impression of him because that's not right. Because I have that done to me. I don't care, but he
You're
doesn't.
such a bad person, Steve. Are you drunk?
Yeah.
Are you drunk right now?
Yeah. This is this is Dirty Martini. What's going on, Pete?
We have two on deck.
Handsome Pete got some super tips going. Let's go. What's up?
Comments. You ready?
Yes,
Okay,
that's not Jerry the beer guy. I'm telling you, he's much better looking.
Thank you. I don't know this Jerry guy, but thank you. Here we go.
Okay, anonymous. Stuttering John said, say it to my face, bitch. Say what to your face, bro?
Say what?
I know. I want to talk about how this even got to where we are. Do we have another one, buddy?
We do have another one.
Another super tip. Here we go.
Voltaire.
Voltaire, I love that. He's a nice, awesome person. Chauncey, please elaborate with that without any hyperbole. I know
Hyperbole.
hyperbole. I'm giving you guys so much fucking material.
I know.
Stuttering John was seriously offended that you did not include him among the top 50 comics you interviewed.
Yes, he was. I won't give any hyperbole. He sent me a message on Facebook, private DM message, and he said something. I'm paraphrasing, but it was something along the lines as, "Dude, what the fuck's up with you? Why am I not in this book? Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, well, I have someone here that's going to jump on for a little bit. I met him at Hackamania, and he's one of the podcasters in the Dabbleverse, and he's a really cool guy. We got to go see Black Flag together, and this is the Quadfather.
Hey, what up,
Flag.
boys? How you doing today?
Yeah, this guy. Well, they call you the Quadfather, but you explain your situation. You're quadriplegic.
Yeah. Quadriplegic. I'm in a wheelchair and whatever. That's
And his wheelchair flies, bro. We were going through Fremont Street. He left me in the dust, bro.
I
That's
do
right.
know. I know the Quadfather because was it like a year ago or so? You would do the show with John, didn't you? A few times, or
yeah. I did it a few times this year too. So
yeah.
yeah,
I know you. I know who you are from that. Yeah.
right on, man. Nice to meet you, Chaunce.
Nice to meet you.
You
Nice
got
to meet you.
handsome Pete Pitts. I know it has my name on there, but Evie Mux is still behind in the Stone Age.
Yeah, Pete's making us all look very ugly. Like I'm actually. There's no need for Pete to be.
Pete's an actor. He's been in a bunch of shit. We'll talk to him a little bit about that.
Yeah. I mean, I have low self-esteem to begin with, and now I'm looking at Pete, and it's bumming me out, quite honestly.
Handsome Pete Pitts.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy, and it makes me feel so damn ugly.
I'll hide my face next time. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Quadfather.
Wear a mask or something.
Yeah.
You can't go around like that in front of people.
I
Yeah.
know, I know.
Too good looking for the Dabbleverse,
Sorry.
man.
Too good-looking for the Dabbleverse.
I apologize, everyone.
Yeah. All right. So Quad, what's going on, buddy? You had a good time Saturday night?
Oh hell yeah, man! Thanks for going out and doing all that with me. That was a blast. Getting to meet the owners and seeing Black Flag, dude. That was a blast, brother. Getting to meet you too. That was a thrill.
Cool. Well, I don't know what your situation, but where we're talking about how that John's demise could be imminent just the way he's handling his fucking health and the way he's drinking.
Yeah, I mean, you get so drunk you slip and fall on your tile at your house. I got drunk. I broke my neck, so I totally understand. But yeah, he's a little bit old to be getting drunk and sliding around, breaking his arm.
He swore to me that he wasn't drunk when it happened, but
Yeah, you believe that?
he fell so hard that his whole arm is black and blue.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, do you believe that story though?
You know what? I heard for years John has been throwing in my face what an honest guy he is, and I tell the truth. I'm honest, and that's been his moniker ever since I knew him. And it's kind of convinced me that okay, if John's going to say something that it's the truth because it's brainwashed in my head. But now in the past couple of weeks, I'm starting to doubt anything.
I believe it. I believe that marble floors are very slippery, especially if they're damp. And when you get a guy who's very drunk, he's going to lose his balance very easily. And he probably did slip and fall on a marble floor, and that's what happened to him. That doesn't sound unbelievable to me.
Well, when it happened, he called and told me when he was speaking to me, and it was I felt bad. He said, "Oh, well, I smashed my wrist. I wasn't drunk," and I didn't even think about that because anybody could slip and fall.
I wasn't drunk.
Yeah, he's been going at you pretty hard today, man. I got some quotes for you if you want.
Oh, go for it.
You're bloated, you're bald, you're fat, you're stupid, you don't belong here, you don't have thick skin. The more people realize how stupid you are, it's really going to eat at you. Trust me, you're not going to be able to handle it. They all worship Pocky. You worship Pocky. You can't handle it. It's going to eat you alive. You're going to be broke, fat, and stupid and in Las Vegas.
Well,
He thinks you're too weak.
yeah, I love when people think that I'm weak because then I have the advantage. It's real fun. I love people thinking that I'm stupid. Let me ask you a question. If I'm so stupid, how did I get to fucking Vegas? If I'm so stupid, how come my numbers are going through the roof? If I'm so stupid, how come I could leave this tomorrow and go get a job as a stagehand or a grip? I have fucking skills that'll fucking help me sustain my life. Chauncey, what do you think that he has?
Steve, you've been to Stern boot camp. most of us have. When you go through years of the Howard Stern show, there's nothing anybody can say to you to hurt your feelings. You and I say this in the forward to your book. I talk about this.
Yes.
There's nothing anybody on the face of this earth can say to either you or me that would hurt our feelings, because we've heard the most horrible thing. I had a woman say she was going to put a bullet in my head, and then I got yelled at when she got arrested. I got fans hating me because she was arrested for wanting to kill me. You get so used to it that it doesn't matter. Nothing anybody says in the Dabbleverse is going to hurt either you or me.
I understand that. It's just so funny. John is correct. I am fucking overweight and fucking bloated, but I'm not broke. I got a lot of great shit going on here. I guarantee you, I live by myself. Okay, there's nobody else in my apartment, and it's a very big apartment, and
Well,
it's actually a condo.
If you are stupid, fat, and bloated, you'll fit right in the Devilverse, so you're good there.
But the funny thing is, I can lose weight.
You
He'll always be John.
My teeth are too white for the Dabbleverse.
Yeah.
I have to have these veneer. I have to have these crowns taken out. I don't think I can be in the
You got
Dabbleverse.
turkey teeth.
That's too bad.
There's no way I can be in the Dabbleverse with that smile. I can't.
I could hurt your feelings, Grillo. The other day when you gave that signed copy of Gorilla Parts to Anthony, he walked up. When he got ready to leave, he stood up and started walking away and left the book behind, brother. But I saw.
Well, I that was on me, because if you if someone's outside and they're out there having drinks and shit like that, no one wants to carry a book around.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he left it on purpose, because I wound up hanging out with him that night anyway.
No, he did.
At
He
least
did
he
get
knows.
it.
Mail it to him. I have his address. Mail it to him.
No, I made him take it.
Thank
He ended up getting it, but he walked off at first.
I can honestly say that I don't think he probably did it on purpose.
Nah,
I thought about that. I went, oh, you know what? This is my opportunity to give it to him. At least if he did leave it there, I know I made the effort to give it to him as a way of saying thank you for being nice and being a friend.
Steve. He likes you.
So the gesture was there. That's all I was meant for the gesture. If he left it, you're having a couple of drinks. How many times anybody left anything at the bar when you're drinking?
And likes you. He has nothing. He had you on his show, his first radio show on ABC, to promote your book.
And
he wouldn't do that if he didn't like you.
Well, you want to know why? Because he's a human fucking being.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
and he was fun. I got to sit and watch him play blackjack. And John is so wrong, because I saw the amount of cash that Anthony had in his pocket, and it was a knot about that fucking thick of hundreds.
Yeah.
So
He's
Squad, because I know you're a little more in depth in what's going on with John's show. I'm going to tell you this right now. John is having a great time thinking that Anthony was broke and that he got his card denied. And I'm going to tell you why that probably happened, because he already took out the fucking maximum. He probably had like 10 grand in his pocket.
Yeah.
I saw what he had, because when he was playing, I guess he put a couple of bucks, and he was up about 10 G's, and I guess he started out with like $200. So he put the 10 G's that he won on one hand, and he lost. And I said, oh my God, how much is that? He goes, that was about 10,000. I go, oh my God. He goes, Grill, don't worry about it. I still got all this. So the reason why, if he did get declined, it was because he already had the max amount of money you could probably take out from that ATM or with the bank that would allow it. And second of all, I was there when he was on stage. He did not fucking bomb. He was hysterical.
Does it kill you when Anthony loses a chip? Like when he loses one chip, does it like tear at you?
I am not a gambler, bro. I was like, bro, how much is that? He's like, about 10 G's. I was like, no. He goes,
just give it to me. Just give it to me.
Yeah, no, I know exactly. Yeah, of course that goes through my mind or anybody else's mind. But when he walked away, he pulled out a stack about that thick of hundreds. So no, he wasn't broke, John. I'm so sorry that you think that. And he did not bomb on stage. And I'm not doing this because I'm kissing his ass. I don't have to kiss Anthony's ass. Okay, Anthony, he's been good to me for no other reason other than the fact that he just likes me as a person.
Yeah, he's a very magnanimous dude, but yeah, it was awesome just sitting there listening to him hold court out there at the Carousel Bar. All of us just hanging around him, and he was nice to everybody, not even just you, Grillo, like all the fans. And he didn't run off. He sat there for like 2 hours holding court.
He's a good-natured guy. He is. He really is.
But yeah. So breaking news: Anthony had about 10 G's in his pocket. Okay, and I watched him make 10 grand and lose it on the blackjack table.
You're gonna get him robbed, man.
What's that?
You're gonna get him robbed.
Oh no, well, dude,
Don't
that
tell
was
people he
Saturday.
walks around with
No, he
10 grand in
carries.
his
I
pocket.
wouldn't
How many
rob
people got
Anthony.
10 grand in their pocket in a casino? Like probably a lot.
Anthony carries. I wouldn't
Yeah.
rob
I
him.
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
we have
but
super chats, by the way.
oh, we got another super chat. Hold on there.
have two. We have
Oh, we
two
got
today.
two. You're right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready, Quad?
Let's go.
All right.
The first one is actually for Quad, so here we go.
Oh, Quad, this is for you, bud.
From Anonymous.
Quad from Anonymous. Quadfather is a hero. He called out Shuley for his lies and deception regarding Shuley's pedo producer, ISO. Quad cares about kids, unlike Shuley's fans.
All right.
So I don't know all the details of that, but I have a question for you, Quad, because you probably have more background in all this than I do. So I don't think this about Shuley at all. Like if he knew that whole time that this guy was a pedo, would he let it slip, or was it this guy hiding it and got pinched while he worked with this guy?
Yeah, I can't imagine that Shuley actually knew anything about the guy just had like 5,000 pictures on a hard drive.
Yeah, but like if you're a
I
pedo, it's
can't
not like you're
imagine.
going, wow, I got some new pictures of some little boys. You want to see them? You're a pedo. You're in a closet. And if you don't like Shuley, that's fine. But I got to stick up for Shuley because he's been nothing but good to me over the years. I keep saying that, and I mean it. I don't school. He might be scumbag to other people. He's yet to scumbag me, so I can't go by anything else. But if you're working with a pedo, you're not going to exactly know it because they're not bragging about it. They hide it. So when
Right.
they keep saying your producer was a pedo, what is Shuley a pedo? No, he has children, and I guarantee you, when he found out, he was probably devastated that this person could do that and tarnish his reputation.
Well, Shuley's.
Right,
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just think the only criticism he really gets is because between the time that that guy was arrested and by the time that he told his audience, I think there was a gap in between there when something just doesn't quite add up. I think that's the only real criticism he's gotten for that. So
Well, that is something that's in the past at this point. The guy's in jail and he's serving his time, and I hope he's getting bent over a barrel. So another super tip coming up, Handsome Pete. What's up?
Yes, really quick before the super tip, I just want to say to piggyback on that, I worked for Mr. Beast, and everyone constantly was hating on me for just working with the guy for Beast Games because he was under the scrutiny for the guy he hired who was allegedly did stuff or whatever, grooming or whatever. And I was getting hate for working with someone else who allegedly hired someone else. And I just wanted to piggyback back on what Quadfather just said. We can't control what other people do. We can just control what we see and how we interact with that.
All right. Well, that is very well said, my friend.
My daughter loves Mr. Beast, by the way.
He's a really cool guy. I mean, I'll defend Jimmy Donaldson to the day I die because he's a really stand-up guy in real life. But anyway, another super tip.
Let's go.
Here we
Hey,
go.
my glasses are on. Cupcake, we got to fix this.
This is from Skill Rules Today. Here we go.
Okay. Skill rules today. Chauncey, your appearance has been gold. John was screaming yesterday that you better shut up or he's going to expose the real reason why you left the USA.
Well,
Well,
covered that.
we already did that. We just took the wind out of his sails. But
Covered
thank you
that.
very much for that.
Buy the book, Spring 27.
Yeah. And so what's your beef with John? What's your experience? So you were friends with him, and how did he crush your friendship like he's crushed so many? Quad.
oh, okay.
That was you. Sorry, man.
That could be
Yeah.
for anybody. He's
Yeah, that could be like everybody except for Handsome Pete.
No, I thought you were talking to Chauncey, but yeah,
No, I'm talking about we all know Chauncey's thing. What about you?
we got along for the most part during any interactions I've had with him. But yeah, like he just constantly going after people that I liked, and it came down to Dr. Steve, who you probably met at Heckamania.
He was very nice. I didn't know who he was, but he was very nice.
Super nice guy, didn't deserve to be attacked, and the reason he was getting attacked and doxxed by John was mainly because of the fact that he wore a T-shirt with John's face on it. And when he started really going after him for no reason, I got fed up and I just whatever. I just
Did you have a confrontation with him, or was it just like I'm done with this guy?
Yeah, I just ended it right there pretty much. So,
And you have your own show, correct?
Yeah, I do BYB podcast.
Well, when can people watch that?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:00 Eastern, Sunday at 5:00 Eastern.
And when are you having me on a guest?
Anytime you want, man. We're live tomorrow night. You're more than welcome to come on.
Well,
Otherwise, you can
I'm going to have to do that. Right now, I want to bring on someone that is very dear to my heart. and who is being featured in People magazine this month, who is iconic spokesperson for Snapple iced tea. We got Wendy Kaufman here, the very sweet, lovely, beautiful Wendy Kaufman. I wanted to bring her on so she can promote her People magazine and let everybody know she's still out and about and she's still sassy.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
It's great to see you. I feel like an asshole right now because you're so enmeshed in this Shuli stuttering John shit. It's unbelievable.
What did he do to you? What did Stuttering John do to you?
Can I tell you something? He never did anything, but I just find him to be really obnoxious on Facebook. And I did a little bit of research before I would come on with you guys. And I think that he's making a career going on to GoFundMe doing charity stuff. Like there's 3 or 4 different sites that he's been connected to.
It's called being a con man.
Someone sent me that just now. It started with a GoFundMe cup.
It's just unbelievable.
I'm not going to say who sent me that, but John's got a broken arm and he's got a cup out. And there's a GoFundMe. I'm sorry, I didn't make this, but
You know what?
I think it's going to go around the Dabbleverse. Quadfather, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's great. If it makes you feel any better, he's only made about $1,000 so far.
Well, wait. Wendy's done some investigation.
I've
So
done
go
the
ahead.
research. He just came on and said that he's made over $1,000. So I think it's like $1,040. So I'm just letting you know. And most people that I'm seeing in this thing with Kumia and everybody who I just don't know because I'm old and in a different world, think that he's going to get slayed in this lawsuit. And I just went on ChatGPT. Apparently, in New York, if you record somebody, you don't need consent on any conversations. He's going to lose his suits because even I know I was always parodied as the Snapple spokesperson. So if he's pissed about people using his face, his likeness, it's all out there on the internet, and it's like me suing. I don't have grounds. It's over.
Can I say something? For 30 years, I made a living interviewing people. A lot of those interviews were over the phone, and I would record every interview, and then I would play them on the entertainment TV shows. I didn't have to ask permission because in New Jersey, where I live, you only needed one person,
consent.
one consent, and that would be me, the interviewer.
Correct.
I owned it, and I could play it anywhere I want and make money off of it. That's the law. John's crazy.
Chauncey, you are 1,000% right. He has just zero grounds because this is a New York case. And I know the one night that I watched Saturday Night Live, Mike Myers was doing a parody of me that I was it was an ongoing skit about him flying first class, as the coffee something with coffee. Anyhow, he got stuck with me as the person who was sitting next to him in first class. It was the joke of the whole thing. And it was very, very funny. And you know what? There was nothing that I could do about it because everybody had the right, because I was a public figure, to go and make parodies. And thousands of people made parodies about the Snapple commercials.
It's almost impossible to sue when you're a public figure. You would have to show. John can't sue for damages because he's made money off of it. John's actually has made income off of what Shuli has done. He can't prove that he's lost anything. He's made money. He's insane. John's insane, and he's drunk, and it's sad, and it's just the whole thing is sad.
Wendy's a graduate of rehab, and I'd like to know her take on what she sees what John's going through. Chauncey says if he keeps going, he's not going to be alive that much longer.
No, he's not. When I'm seeing him talk, I don't know what piece of this is sickness, because he has another GoFundMe his children do for his sickness that I not aware about. Maybe you're not aware about, but about his months to live from rectal cancer or something. I don't even.
John?
I think there's something from his kids. I'm not sure.
Wow.
Maybe I got the wrong John Melendez, but I'm just saying there is a John
Wow.
Melendez whose kids are asking for money for their father.
Well, I
But
don't think that's happened. Well, I was talking at the top. I'm not going to really get into anything what's going on with John's kids or his family because
all right, but
I
what
know
I
I'm just
think,
I don't want it on my end. I wouldn't want like if he does it that's karma on him. Karma is a very patient motherfucker. So
I know, but
I'm not going to do that on I'm not going to do that on him.
I hope that he's doing right by his children is all that I am saying. But, my People magazine article this week really is how Snapple ended up saving my life because I was so sick as an addict from cocaine back in the days. And and I
No offense,
went
I don't mean to laugh, but you have the sweetest personality, and your persona was so sweet. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but I bet you were so much fun to do cocaine with.
I was the greatest and I always had it. So I want to just say that, I wish that you were around in those days. But seriously, for me, and I'm not even kidding, it got to a point where one night I had to blow my nose and I blew the whole cartilage out of my nose. And instead of like freaking out about it, I started laughing that it was like a rite of passage. So I knew that, like, you're in trouble, stop. Anyhow, I ended up really being sick, and I was a 3 pack a day smoker. And those were the days that you could go smoke on an airplane, you could smoke in a movie theater, and you could smoke in a building. And I realized, oh my God, slowly but surely, I was completely losing my rights to live my life the way that I wish to. And eventually I ended up, in such a bad way that if I pressed my cheeks, my nose would start bleeding, and I was just really, really sick. And my family had an intervention, and I ended up in a 28-day program where they kept me for 45 days, and then they just said to me, "You better get help because you're gonna die." So I ended up away for 10 months. And what I want to say is, and I don't wish ill on anybody, but I've been watching now because of you, Grillo, living here in Vegas and us becoming so close.
Well, she's now I'm adopted son. She is my Jewish Vegas mother.
Yes, I
Can I say
am.
something?
And I just want to say one thing.
Congratulations to
Lone
you.
Move
I think that's great.
744 says
It's going to
congrats
be
on being sober, Wendy.
Thank you. And I've had like 37 years. And what I want to say is, I think that he's just so angry. And this is not a mean thing. I think he's really sick. And I think that he just is very unhappy in his own skin.
Yep.
And I would hope for him, at the end of the day with all of this, and Grillo, I know that you don't want to say anything bad and it's not your style. I know you so well personally. Chauncey, I know a lot about you from back in the day, but I just want to say that I really hope for his children's sake, his family's sake, that he considers that maybe he does have a problem and that he has a rageaholic problem because he sues people. And it's not just one lawsuit. If you start to look it up, that he needs to do work on himself, and I'm worried about him.
Save his life. This is now about saving John's life.
It is, and that's why
It's at that level. Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm on. I really want to, by via you guys, to say, you know what, you can all have your personal issues, and maybe he's not a nice guy, but as unnice as he is to you guys, it is worse what he's doing inside himself right now.
Yep.
And honestly, maybe we can all turn it around to help him and to tell him that we are there for him, and this may be an aberration to really who he is. Because at a certain point with me, I couldn't recognize the person I became in the mirror.
Wendy, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Was there a moment when you hit bottom where you said, "This is the day I need to stop"? Was there that moment for you?
Completely. I fell on my knees. I knew I had gone to Boston for a weekend to see if I could not do drugs for a weekend, and I realized I couldn't even go a few hours without doing drugs and cigarettes and whatever. And back in the 1989s, it was just rampant everywhere. And
Washington Heights. It was
listen, one night I was so fucked up, I literally bought a building with some friends in Washington Heights. I financed a bookmaking ring one night. I don't even
I
know.
want to buy your book.
Wendy,
Yeah,
Jesus Lord,
you
sweet
know,
Wendy,
yeah,
got a bookmaking ring. That's fucking awesome.
well, it's out of business now, of course.
I
The
would think so.
management was sleeping.
Allegedly.
But I
Allegedly.
literally, Chauncey, I just want to say, I don't know when you're out of time. Chauncey, I just want to tell you there was one night that I was so despondent because I was so sick, and I would get pills and alcohol and drugs delivered to my house, and it was like 1 in the morning, and they came over, and I got on my knees and I said, God, tonight, please either help me get better or please kill me.
I had a
I
very, very important person in my life said, if you ask God, he'll give it to you.
And I got it. I went to work the next day and ended up with an intervention with my family, and
Saved your life.
and you know what? They threw me out of the business, which was fine because it gave me a whole other life that I would never have had without the cocaine. So cocaine was the greatest gift in my life. It was also the greatest tragedy in my life, but it got me to a place where every day I see the sparkle in my eye
You do
instead
have a
of.
wonderful
What
sparkle, I will
what
tell
a
you
great
that.
story. What a great
So we,
story.
we got some super tips. I think you might be included on this, Wendy. We're going to just go to the super tips. Handsome Pete, what we got?
All right, first one from Anonymous coming up right now.
Anonymous, hey Grillo, I hope you're well. So has John always been this awful stupid, or did this just happen over the years? I wouldn't say stupid. There is a level of intelligence with the guy, but I think his OCD and his alcohol. I won't even say alcoholism because you have to commit to knowing that you're an alcoholic.
Right.
Right now he's just a drunk because alcoholics go to meetings and they try to do something better.
Well, he
And
was saying that reaching out for help is a sign of weakness, and like he was trying to tell Rob that, like, oh, you needed help, you're weak. That's the way he puts it. So
Well, he's
I don't know.
reaching out to lawyers and he's reaching out to GoFundMe, and he needs to reach out to people that can sit him down, put him in his place, intervene, and get him into treatment. Because I think that he drinks an enormous amount, and I think that he could use some therapy because I think he's really angry.
And there's nobody in his life right now to do that because he's burned so many bridges. There's literally nobody in John's life that cares about John on that level to step in and try and be that person. And that's why I was saying before, and I hate saying this, John won't be with us much longer if he continues down this path. And I don't know who in his life is going to prevent that from happening at this point. I don't.
I wanna toss this to Quadfather. Can you read that? And you want to
Uh,
answer it?
Quadfather, why are you doing the show? Grillo is way below your level. Boom. No, I take that as a compliment, but they're just chipping you. That's all they ever do.
I know. I want to hear what you had to say. Okay, another super tip, Handsome Pete. What's up?
Another super tip. This one's for Wendy from Oscar. And Wendy, your story's motivational, by the way, but here's the tip.
Very emotional. Very emotional.
This is from Oscar Electric. My boy, Wendy, do you have a Snapple in your refrigerator? No, she has Coke Zero.
Coke, Coke Zero?
I
Coke
actually,
Zero. But she
I,
does.
You didn't get a lifetime supply for free?
Did I tell
Snapple?
you? When they fired me, they never talked to me again. That was the end. So I haven't heard from them in about 18 years. But I'm sort of having a little bit of a laugh right now because they haven't had as much press as they've had in the last week for the last 18 years.
They
So
need to
I,
hire you back. You need to be
yeah.
spokesperson for them.
Well,
Seriously.
tell them about People Magazine.
No, I'm thrilled. I all I know is that Jenny Garth is on the cover because apparently she's written a book, but it really talks about the story how Snapple did save my life. But what's been so exciting, you can do a Google search for like Wendy Snapple, and you can go to news, and it got picked up by Entertainment Weekly, In Touch. the page 6. Grillo, we ended up on page 6 the same day, I
I
think.
know that was like so weird.
So it just went everywhere. MSN, Yahoo, it was on AOL, and I just have missed so much being out there with friends and fans. And I know that my life's mission, through God and through falling on my knees, is to help people that do need help. And Grillo, I have always been there for that's like my gig.
You
to
and
help
Steve
where
are my
I
two
can.
favorite people. We went out to dinner with Danny Miner last night. We had such a good time.
Excellent time.
And the
With
food was great. I had the chicken piccata for lunch. It was even better the second day.
It's always better Italian food the second day. But you know what? It just felt great to get back out there. It didn't necessarily have to be about Snapple, but I will tell you a funny, PS. Last night on Jeopardy, because I've been all over the place, last night one of the Jeopardy questions was a Snapple question, and I know that only happened because of me.
Yeah. All right, we
That's
got another
great.
super tip. Hands
You're
up, Pete. What's going
amazing.
on?
2 more. They're flying in right
They're
now.
flying in. Let's
So,
go.
From Anonymous, here we go.
I got to now. Do you have any updates on Artie? The latest rumor is he's suffering from early signs of dementia. I really hope that's not true. I do know someone that does not want to reveal their name, but he has been contacting somebody very close to me and very close to the Stern world, and I don't know anything about dementia, but I know he's been very happy. He seems like he's in a happy place. I don't think he's going to come out soon, but I think this person that he's talking to was like I guess a confidant when he was on the show, and I think he reached out to him because I think it's more of like a thank you for what you did for me when I was sick. I haven't got any updates, say in the past 2 weeks, but I know he's contacted this person in say the past 2 weeks and is having very nice conversations with him. So another super tip, excuse me. Go ahead, Handsome Pete.
Another super tip. Here we go. Rock and roll.
This is from Crown Prince Sebastian Johnson of Pontecorvo. Congratulations, Crown Prince. You win the best name ever. Hi, Grillo. I hope you're well. What do you think really set John off? John, over the past 3 years, the duck, I guess, the duck seems to have been on a rampage. Chauncey, we were sort of talking about this. You want to pick that up?
Well, listen, when you're, you don't like to use the word alcoholic, but I'm going to use it for John because it's my opinion that he is an alcoholic. And I think it's a progressive disease because it is a disease. And I think the disease has taken over John. And the less he has to do, the less fame he has, I think the more he relies on drinking to self-medicate. And the way he's dealing with his life now, which I think all of us will agree, John's life is not ideal right now. It's a sad life. He's alone.
What do you mean, sitting at home with a broken arm, drinking at 11 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yes, yes.
Well,
And,
yeah,
and,
what
and I,
a
I,
life.
yes,
If
and
you get operated on it, should you be drinking? Shouldn't you have meds and you have to have what?
He's got both. He does
John-
all of it.
Right, you should
John-
listen
he
to
takes-
doctor's orders.
He takes
100%.
Klonopin.
I
and he's
think
on
right
pain
now,
pills right now.
I think right now, if John stopped drinking, I think he would get very sick and could possibly go into a stroke. I think John is at a point now where he needs to drink. It's not a matter that he can just, hey, John, stop drinking. I think right now he has to be weaned off drinking, and he has to do it in a facility that has the medicines and the doctors to help him do that. You can't just drink.
100%.
You can't
Because
drink
we
like
don't
John and
know.
stop.
We know that he may be drinking and that's what's changing his personality, but we don't know. Like with me, cocaine was my drug of choice, but I was drinking an awful lot and I was taking any pill. I didn't care what it was as long as it would take the edge off. So I didn't even, when I went to rehab, I didn't even know what I was on. So all I'm saying is it is a disease, and I just don't think that he's playing with the right deck right now. And I think that he will, if he sees somebody professionally, we as a team together might be the ones to help save his life. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes knowing that he's got these lawsuits and he has Cumia waiting for him to settle.
Waiting in the wings.
Well,
Yeah.
I gotta jump in here
Coming.
real quick. I gotta jump in here real quick before these people start losing it. that is not the John Melendez that you saw for the GoFundMe is not the same John Melendez that we're talking about.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's got to be very clear because
No, no, I said I might
this
have
guy's a
gotten the
litigious
wrong one.
fuck, and if we're
Oh,
not
you're
spreading rumors, it is not there. If there's other John Melendez's, there are a lot of John Melendez's in this
I
world, and
apologize, but
it
I
is
did
not that
say,
John Melendez. He
I
does not have
apologize.
cancer. It is a complete different GoFundMe. So I'm getting like crazy shit. You better go.
Okay, then
we, we now know John's show tomorrow. We now know the first hour of John's show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
he
very
does.
sorry, but I just looked very quickly at some of the GoFundMe's for John Melendez, but there were definitely two that were of our John Melendez, not. I'm sorry about the sick one, but I did say I wasn't sure. So please, it has nothing to do with Grillo. It's my mistake, and I'm getting older, and maybe I'm getting dementia.
What do you think right now is the status of John's liver? Do you think he has a healthy liver? I would say his liver has to be already in the level of cirrhosis on some degree. If you did a blood test, you would find cirrhosis in John's liver right now. I'm 1,000% sure of that.
Well, what I want to say about that is that I have, from even my small amount of drinking compared to the cocaine, I do have something called primary biliary cirrhosis, which is not cirrhosis of the liver, but of the bile duct. And I was diagnosed with that 36 years ago, and I'm still living a very
Is it
good life.
is that
You
fatty
know,
liver? Is that what they call fatty liver?
no, that's a separate disease,
That's
and I
separate.
know about it because I've lived it.
Yeah.
By not drinking and also losing 110 pounds, which
Okay.
happened because I ended up getting a heart attack five
Oh,
years ago. And I did this. What I want to say to you is that my life I'm very grateful for, but make no mistakes. I was no princess out there, and whatever happened to me, I accept, and it is what it is. But you deal with what you deal with, and my liver doctor tells me now that my fatty liver disease went away, so it can go
you
away.
can make that go away. Yeah,
You
you can
can
make that go away.
absolutely with a change, and I'm probably the best that I've ever been in my entire life. And again, I'm so sorry that I got confused with the wrong John Melendez. But if he does have liver disease, he must maybe see a doc. He got to see a doctor.
Hey, Quad.
Yeah, he
so-
does. He doesn't have ass cancer. He is an ass, and he is a cancer to the government.
But he doesn't have ass cancer. He's an
Well, at
ass
least I
and he's a
picked
cancer.
a rectal cancer.
Yeah, he doesn't have it, but he is one. I got you. So Quad wasn't the original GoFundMe for his arm, and now it's for his legal terms.
No, I think he started it for his legal stuff, but the new one is definitely for the surgery on his arm. But I mean, it's kind of funny because all the WATP and Shuley got Dr. Steve to start him a GoFundMe, and that thing's up to tens of thousands of dollars. And John starts one, and he could barely break $1,000. So it is funny how much. Yeah.
If you could fill a theater of people that can't stand you, like they did at Hackamania, like when's the wake up call?
I mean, that ship sailed. I mean, he knows that he's got a problem somewhere deep inside of himself. Like anybody that has addictions, they wake up certain days and they tell themselves, obviously they know they have a problem. It's just impossible to get to the point where they can give up.
You got hit
Like
bottom.
Wendy said she hit bottom, ended up on her knees one day, and that's when she decided it had to happen. And that's everyone has to find that spot for themselves.
But I
When
do
will
want to
be?
tell you something
Yeah.
really funny. I had to go away, like I said, for 10 months, but I do have to tell you that I did get kicked out at 10 months. They caught me gambling on the Kentucky Derby.
Did you win? Did you
I
win?
went to rehab and I got thrown out.
So that's one of my great stories also.
That's so great. No,
It
John,
was like $10 on a horse called Power Lunch. I just love the name of the
And they
horse.
gave
that
you
was your
gave you
bottom.
the power
That was
lunch
your
of
bottom.
Dawkins.
But I left, but I knew that I was sober, that I was going to stay sober. I had given up 10 months of my life in this therapeutic community, and I knew who I was and what I was, and I knew that I never ever wanted to go back to that very dark, hateful place in my life. And I knew that I had to make up for a lot of lost time, because when you're an addict, you're home, you're doing your drugs, you don't want to share, you don't want to see people, you don't want to share your drugs with them. And that's when I started gambling on parlay sheets, and got busy.
Your world shrinks smaller and
Oh,
smaller and
horrible.
smaller.
Horrible.
Do you know what I think? I think what would change John and what would be his bottom is, God forbid, he gets a heart attack. And to me, he looks like a walking heart attack. Like John looks
He
like he
already
could
had
have
a
a heart attack
stroke.
at any. He had a
Well,
stroke. He seems like he's days away from a widowmaker.
one,
And
two,
if,
three strokes, you're out.
yeah, and I think if John had a serious heart attack and survived it, that might be enough to scare him into getting sober. I hope none of these bad things happen now that we're talking about. But you look at him and you just shake your head and go, this guy, how long can you live like that? You can't. You cannot live long like that. Nobody could.
It's funny. I get very, very jealous of some of my cousins who can drink up a storm, and then they can wake up the next morning and be fine and go to work and have a normal life. That's just not some of us.
Not me.
And he's probably one of them. And I'm loving this today, because I'm actually not being mean spirited. I have no right to be judgmental of anybody, considering where I come from. But I just want to say my own personal plea, on behalf of AA, NA, any of those A's. I come from there. It's changed my life. I've had the most unbelievable life that I'm so filled with gratitude for. And I really just hope that he hears this and knows that out of love, we are speaking to him to please try to get help and look at himself honestly.
And I want to say this: so many people in the Dabbleverse depend on John staying alive for their living, that John should think of them. There's thousands of people that make money off of John being alive. He needs to be not selfish and think of those other people.
We got a super tip coming through. Handsome Pete, let's have it.
All right, another super chip from Crown Prince Sebastian.
Crown Prince Sebastian, Johan of Ponte Corvo. I think they do this because I know I can't read these goddamn names. Hi again. My other question is about Howard. He's run his show into the ground to serve his narcissism. Is this his NPD or is this Marcy Turk? What's NPD? Anybody familiar?
Narcissistic personality disorder.
I think it's both. I think that you don't get to his level of success without being a narcissist. But I think that Marcy Turk, they came in and she basically coddled his narcissism and turned it into something even worse.
So it's both.
Anybody?
No, well, I was gone during those years. I think I left at the height of the Stern popularity. When I left, I think it was about as high and as popular as it could get at that point. And then it was like a slow trajectory. Like I predicted on Neil Cavuto, I said, Sirius is going to be the end of Howard Stern. I said it on Fox News, and Howard went crazy over it. But that's what materialized.
But he became the antithesis of what made him famous in the first place,
Right.
because we loved how irreverent he was with all of the famous people and how they lived, and the bullshit of their lives. And then he became that. So,
I
it just lost cachet.
I love
I have
the
nothing against Howard, but, the show started with a mission and failed at its mission ultimately.
And you can't be in your 70s and throw baloney on strippers' rear ends. You know
I
what I
don't know,
mean?
Chauncey. You were pretty fucking close.
No, listen. I am close, but I'm not doing that anymore. I swear. I do play spin the amputee, but I will not throw baloney on porn stars' butts. That's where I draw the line.
There was a meme that's out there, and I've talked about this before. It was the one still of Will Smith smacking Chris Rock, and there was a banner underneath Will Smith that said Howard 1990, and then the other one on Chris Rock was Howard 2026. It's like, so
Yeah,
I would think that 1990 Howard would totally want to smack who he is right now.
yeah.
A
Well,
hundred
listen,
percent.
we all change. We all change. We all get old, and that's the way life. Look, no, are any of us the same way we were 10 years ago? I think we've all keep evolving and changing. I'm not the guy I was 10 years ago, or 10 years before that, and I don't know who I'm going to be 10 years from now.
No,
Eh,
I'm still an idiot.
Oh, you're still bald, fat, bloated.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
but
still bald, fat, and bloated. But 10 years ago, I
know,
was probably in shape, not like now. I just
but
decided not to care anymore, so that's that.
but you're in Las Vegas now. You have a different life now. Your whole world is opening up in a different way. Chauncey, I think are in Europe now.
I'm in
Sometimes.
Ireland. I'm in Ireland herding sheep.
Yeah, like
Which
yeah.
is another story. You other guys, Quad. I'm so sorry I don't know you, but I will know you. I will get to meet you, and I'm looking forward to that. But you know what? If you're stagnant, what the hell is living about?
Right,
You
right.
can't. You always have to keep moving
Moving,
forward
keep
and never
changing.
look back. I mean, you can
Yeah.
look back to fix some things and to, reevaluate and whatever, but it's always about moving forward and looking forward and being blessed and grateful for what's about to come,
Say it all the
hopefully.
time. I'm 67 now, and I'm proud to be 67. Like I don't want to hide it. I'm not ashamed of it. I love being 67 years old. I really do, and I can't believe I'm saying that. When I was 50, I would never thought I'd say that, but I really like being 67.
Chauncey,
Well,
since
I'm your age.
yeah,
I'm your age, so
Isn't it great?
I'm going to
Is
be 68. I can't believe that when we're 68, we're over the hump to 70.
Yeah,
But, we're very young 70s, I
yeah.
have to say. But, we've lived, we've learned, we can maybe give a little bit of advice because we know what the hell we're talking about and we weren't shut ins that didn't live a life that we don't know what we're talking about. We do know because we lived it, Chauncey. So I hear you.
67 is the new 40.
Chauncey,
Is
I want to address this real quick because
Yeah,
I know you said you were friends with Beth, and I heard
yeah.
about this, but I don't know because I thought maybe you could add some insight because Beth ran into Ralph's apartment hours after being tipped off of his death at 2 o'clock in the morning. I've heard that several different times.
Me
Did you
too.
hear anything about that?
I hear it. I hear it all the time. I don't know. It could be true, but it could be, even if it's true, it may not be for nefarious reasons. Maybe they were close. Ralph and Howard were extremely close. So if a friend of mine died, I would probably want to go to his apartment and keep things in order, make sure there's nothing that would embarrass him or her. I it could be true, but I don't think it necessarily means that they were destroying something that would embarrass Howard. I don't know if I would go down that road.
Yeah, R.I.P. Ralph. Even though we weren't friends when he died, we still had a couple of good times there.
So what do you guys think? Like, is it the fact that he just wasn't invited to the Cool Kids Club back, like all the famous people back in the day?
A hundred
Uh,
percent. Well, I think. Well, here's the deal. Yes and no because he now that he's in the cool kids club, it's a different thing. But I think that he realized how much money he was making being the badass on the outside. That he definitely used it to his advantage.
but he did always want the adulation of being inside the Cool Kids Club.
Well, he
The
does now. That's for sure.
famous people. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
that's what he always
but
wanted, huh?
you're also leaving one thing out. You got to remember when the world turned, when the Me Too movement started, right? When Weinstein was arrested, and the whole country took a turn where it was very hypersensitive to anything that would lead to misogyny or anything that would put down women. Howard was like, he was in the bullseye to get canceled, right? He had to take dramatic steps to get out of that. Because if you look at Howard's past, where he did blackface, using the N word, I mean, the things Howard did, how could he not be canceled?
Okay, super tip, everybody. Handsome Pete. Let me get my
Say that.
glasses ready.
It's about Howard, and it's from Crown Prince. Here we go.
Crown Prince, bringing it in. Other question regarding Howard. It has been rumored for years he and Ralph were lovers. He sent Beth to his apartment right after he died. Gay stuff or wig?
Well, he wears a wig. I wouldn't say Howard's gay. I think he can be effeminate at times, but I wouldn't say Howard's a homosexual. Well, he does wear a wig. I know that, but
See, I don't know that because when I was there, it was his hair. But
I
I did hear
I know
rumblings
it.
from former Howard TV staff that there were strict rules about camera angles and his head.
Richard Farrell did Howard's hair. He did my hair. And when I would sit down in New York City at Richard Farrell's office, if you go to his website right now, Farrell Hair, you will see the exact same haircut Howard has now, because that's what he specializes in, that curly kind of hair. And I said to Richard one time, I said, "You have a picture of Howard on the wall. What, are you a fan?" He goes, "Well, I listen, but it's also because he's a client."
Well,
So
is it Maury's wigs don't come off kind of thing?
they glue it. What they do, they glue it on. They shave a part to your bald until there's no hair at all. Then they put a glue. Yeah, they put a glue on it and they press it down. It's a very fine, thin mesh. You would never know, and that lasts for about a month. You don't have to have it changed, and you can never even pull it off. It's very real looking, and that's what they use on Howard. And he's used them for many, many years. I mean, when I was doing the Stern Show, he was a client. So I can imagine now you don't get more hair as you get older. Howard's got to be bolder now than he was then.
Yeah, well, I know for a fact, on Private Parts, the movie, that was a wig, but that was for strictly camera purposes where they needed to, like, if you have your hair, it looked better with, a wig on because, he wore a wig in the movie. I know that, but at that point stage, I was working with him every day. I didn't notice anything unless he was going and I didn't know. But I know he worked with one of the best wig people in the movie business.
Howard,
And
I was wearing a wig.
Wait, hold on a second. I think I just might have put two and two together.
What?
Because remember when Ralph used to do Howard's hair
Yeah,
every morning? It was a nightmare because Ralph had to be there every day.
yeah.
So when he did Private Parts, right, he wore the movie wig for camera purposes, right? And the woman that did his wig got his current hairdresser from back then. I think she's still there. It was a little British girl. She started doing his hair every day, and Ralph got kicked out the box. So if she's a big wig professional, and that woman that started doing Howard's hair right after the movie, that she came in every day, maybe that was a wig back then. Because why would you have a wig professional gave you one of her apprentices to start doing your hair every day? Maybe that's why I never saw it. Maybe because she was working for the woman that did the hair on Private Parts.
Richard Farrell is the one who designs Howard's hair. He makes it just for Howard, and he has done that for over 3 decades. And you can go to Richard Farrell's website, and you will see Howard's hairstyle on his website.
Okay,
I believe that
super
his
tip.
father-
Hold on, super tip.
Yep.
It's okay.
From Oscar.
Oscar Electric, I miss 2.0 wig or no wig. Chauncey, Steve, Wendy.
I know what that means.
I guess he's asking Wendy, me, you. Is it a wig or isn't it?
It's a wig.
It's definitely a wig. His father was completely bald, so I believe that runs in the family.
His forehead has gotten lower over the years. Like if you could look up 100 pictures of Howard Stern, and his forehead's always higher or lower, and now it's getting lower as it gets older.
It's
And
like
that's
it's a hat. Look.
Yeah, if he was smart, he'd let himself be a little bald now. But he can't, his ego, his narcissism won't let him.
Right.
So he still wears the wig of a 20-year-old because he has to.
And he tortured me on a fucking daily basis when I started losing my hair.
Me
Like
too.
I said earlier, sorry, not that name. Karma is patient and will always catch up to you.
Yes, yes.
But it's funny, the ones that laugh at you and point at you and accuse you are the ones that have the problem most of the time.
That's totally
Quad, you got all
That's-
your hair. What's going on?
Yeah, I got all my hair, but I still shave it off. But you made the right choice, Grillo. Like Howie Mandel, Joe Rogan. It's like cut that stuff off, shave it off, get rid of it.
Well,
move on.
it took $4,000 and a national embarrassing day for me to do it. It was it opened my eyes. They paid me $4,000 to shave my head because I was literally living a nightmare of anxiety, losing my hair. On top of the fact that I had to get made fun of in front of 20 million people on a daily basis, and they realized I was so tight. They offered me a couple of bucks to shave my head, and I was broke at the time, and I turned it down, and it all of a sudden became a huge thing on the air that day in front of 20 million people, where it took me $4,000 to finally break down and shave my head. I got $4,000 for shaving my head that day. And I've watched it again, and I watch it, and I don't remember anything. I'm talking about complete mental shutdown for me to get my head shaved. And then when I shaved it and I looked in the mirror, I go, I don't think I look that bad.
That's
Yeah,
the
as long
end
as you
it,
don't
right?
have a weird shaped
And
head.
Ryan, I did not cry. I did not cry. I know I didn't cry, but I was definitely in a mental state of disability. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It was
My
liberating.
brain shut off.
Liberating. It was liberating.
Yeah, 100% liberating.
I got a question for you guys. Do you think there's any chance that like NDAs were signed and Howard Stern has some like skeletons in his closet from?
Here's the fun
Idiot.
part. Guess who was in charge of handing out the NDAs and making people sign it?
Oh.
Guess who didn't sign an NDA?
Oh, that's awesome.
So what does that mean? You can tell us everything right now? All the
I'm
NDAs
telling
that were
everything.
signed?
I don't give a fuck. He got no paperwork on me. I'll tell you that right now.
So what's the deal? How many NDAs got signed? Let's hear it.
Well, I had to go around and go, make sure everybody signs this. Sure. And guess who didn't sign it? Me. I was like, oh, fuck that.
Here's a question, Grillo. I got a question for you. When Howard Stern passes away, who will be the first one to write a tell-all book?
We all did.
No. I mean.
Oh, the
I mean,
people.
Gary.
I would hope it would be Scott the engineer.
Do you think he has a
Scott
book
the
in him,
engineer
Scott?
got the fucking worst shit end of the stick from someone who put up with so much crap over the years and not getting paid. He just got paid to be an engineer. He wasn't a paid on-air personality. And on top of the fact that he was getting on the air all the time, he was being put in the worst light possible, being tortured on a daily basis, not making any extra money. And when the guy's wife finally got sick, you think Howard would have pulled him aside and said, yo, I got the bill. Because it's a drop in the bucket for him. He probably made that in a half an hour. But no, he didn't help Scott. Okay, what he did do was stop Scott doing a GoFundMe and using his name on the GoFundMe to help save his fucking wife's life. The wife that Scott was fucking, she used to come on the air too. And Scott tortured both of them Howard tortured both of them on the air. And you would think, out of some sort of fucking decency, that you would have just said, give me the bill, I got it.
Yeah.
He was trying to raise $370,000 to save his fucking wife's life.
Instead, he took him off the air.
Washed his name out of the GoFundMe and didn't help him. And then after that, he stuck Scott in the basement because they couldn't fire him because he's union. They stuck him in a basement doing menial labor for the rest of his career there.
Yeah.
I don't know at a certain point, we're all going to die and you can't take it with you. When he signed that contract with Sirius for $500 million, I just don't understand how, morally and ethically, you don't take care of all the people that took care of you. And just what would it have been for him to write a $1 million check to all of you for $2 million?
George Clooney did that. When he sold his tequila company, he took like 10 of his friends away on vacation, and they all went into their room, and they all had a briefcase full of $1 million. And Clooney told that story on Howard, and Howard goes, man, I would never do that.
It's just unbelievable and unfathomable on so many levels, because what do you, other than to help the people that got you to where you were, if I had the money, I would have absolutely, because I was a female in a man's world 35 years ago, so let's, that's a whole other story. But, I was just so grateful to have a job and, and to be noticed and to be able to do nice things for other people. But if I had made millions and millions of dollars, that would have been the first thing that I would have done, is to pay off my entire team and thank everybody at Snapple for giving me such a gift in
That's
my life.
because you're a human being, that's why.
Don't understand it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, when when I brought Debbie Tay's ashes onto the show,
There was ashes. It was bones, bro.
yeah, but her remains,
Yeah.
and we got sued. I got sued for 10 million, and Howard got sued for 10 million. I had to get my own attorney. Howard didn't say, "Hey, Chauncey, this is part of the Howard Stern show. I'll cover your legal expenses, or we'll combine it into one lawsuit." I was completely on my own during that. Completely. Like you would think he would have said, "Listen, I'm the guy that opened up the top. I'm the guy that exposed the bones on camera. It was really all me. Listen, you shouldn't be sued for $10 million."
I had to be. It was kind of me.
What's that?
I remember you called me that the morning that you got her remains back, and I'd never
Yep.
dealt with any type of remains from a crematorium or anything. And
Yeah.
you asked me, Steve, I don't understand. Is there supposed to be like bones in there? And I go, I don't know. What do you mean like bones? Like I can imagine there must be like a chip here and there from like maybe they didn't all burn up. He goes, no, like bones. I was like, bones like how? Like you could see it. He goes, Steve, that's a rib and that's a finger. I go, whoa.
Well, because I learned about this over the years. This is such a sidetrack to everything, but
Yeah.
there's a YouTube videos of it. There's different levels of cremation. There's a process, and the first process is when the body is burned, the bones become like chips, like bone chips, about 2 inches, 3 inches, sometimes even 4 inches, and then they go through another process where they're pulverized into that fine powder that you think of during a cremation when you throw it into the ocean and it's just powder into the breeze.
Yeah.
But with Debbie, they didn't have that process done. They only had, I guess it was cheaper, so they only had the body was burned and the remains were filtered and put into a box. So the pieces were the size of chips rather than powder, and that's what was so shocking about that show.
Yeah, that was I remember, and God rest Debbie Tay's soul. Seriously,
Right.
she was a wonderful person.
Yeah.
I remember her, but I'm just still sitting here shocked, that you would like under the umbrella of the show and him, and they were going to take care of him, and there was no reason for you to not be a co-defendant
Exactly.
with him, that they could have just stuck your name right there and handle it.
And
And they,
Absolutely.
in his head, I guarantee you, he was mad. Like, look what you brought upon me.
My attorney told me, he goes, "You're crazy. You should sue Howard. You have a case against him." And I didn't do it. I said, "No, I'm a fan of the show. I like Howard. He helps me." My attorney said, "You're insane. You should be part of this lawsuit on the other side." And I didn't do it. I said, "No, I'm not going to do that." And
listen, we are all very devoted, loyal people, but
yeah,
you realize that there's half of the population that is not as loyal as you are.
yeah,
I was incredibly loyal for many, many years to Snapple. I would have done anything, mostly because of the founders of Snapple who believed in me when I didn't necessarily believe in myself. So I love the brand. They were my babies. Or those bottles, all of them were my children. By the time I had gotten through corporate survivor, there were 5 businesses that had bought us out, and I ended up in Plano, Texas, and I was this Long Island girl, when I got the contract, that they gave me a contract that was an appearance contract with no minimal appearances. And that's when I knew that I was fired. And I just thought to myself, I just can't even believe
yeah,
what a bunch of low life people that I gave my life, to helping them, and then they give me a contract that was worth like 18 pages of no words with 0 appearances. They didn't have to guarantee anything. And, that was pretty much firing me without having to fire me. And
yeah.
that was it. And I disappeared.
Well, does anybody have anything that you want to plug? You're in People Magazine, Wendy. Why don't you tell what's going on with that?
Well, that was just a total surprise because it started from a business article that ended up on Instagram that they called me the $1.4 billion mistake that Snapple made. And from there, people.com got in touch with me, but it went into my spam folder because I'm not friends with any of them. And I noticed it 2 months later when I got a notification, and they still wanted to see me. And it was such a great interview that the magazine asked if they could also do an article. And from there, it went to all these other outlets, which was just thrilling and exciting. And I can say to you, I'm working right now on a contract with an LA production company because they're very keen on doing my story because I have a great documentary.
Oh,
You
that
do.
I
You really
love that.
do.
I want to make sure that we get these super tips from done because it pertains to anybody that's here. I want to make sure that we get them out. We got another handsome Pete. What we got?
We got two more coming in. First one, Crown Prince Sebastian Johann coming back up.
Yeah, okay, I love this guy.
Love this guy.
Thank you, Grillo. Great show. Have a great night. Crown Prince, I bow to you, sir. Thank you very much.
He's got another one though.
Okay,
Another
let's
one
go.
coming
One
in.
more from the Crown Prince.
Here we go. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Coming up.
R.E. Jackie's raise request in 1997 is Jackie only asked for a 10% raise or $80K a year. Howard got an $8 million syndication bump and shared nada. Jackie wrote about that in his book. I think he thought Jackie was trying to stick his hands in his pockets, and he did not like that.
There you go.
That's my opinion.
Terrible.
Terrible. The Crown Prince ruling out the super tips today. Thank you very
We
much,
got
buddy.
one more here for Chauncey.
Oh, wow. We got one, Chauncey. This one's for you.
Another one coming in after that. So
Okay, super tips are flying. We're not going anywhere.
All
We're
right,
going to pay rent tonight.
That's right. Anonymous. Here we go.
Anonymous. Chauncey, did you see the radio gunk where Dominic Barber called you a liar? He said Howard's affair with Angie Everhart, Robin Givens, was a fake.
Wait, was that recently he said that? Is he still alive?
I don't know. He resurfaced for a while a couple of years ago, but I haven't heard that he passed away.
Dominic is a shoplifter, a drug addict. I wouldn't listen to anything Dominic Barber says, and you can say that about me too, I suppose. But I only say what I hear. Was I in the bed with them? No, but I hear a lot of things from a lot of reliable sources, so I say what I hear. You can
I
throw
met
a
Angie.
legend in
She
it.
actually fucking loved Howard.
She did love Howard, and so did Robin, and Howard loved Robin Givens. So, listen, you figure it out. You tell me what you think.
All right, another super tip coming through.
One more. I don't know who this is addressed to, but it's from Ava.
Oh, you are gay, and so are you. That's worm tongue.
It's a question though. It says, "Are you?"
Yeah, are you? No, I am not, and you
Is that
are.
the transvestite Alva?
That's her real name
Yeah,
is Prima Wormtongue. She's the one who goes on Stuttering John's show and incites his drunken anger by just like bringing things out. If anybody saw the Lord of the Rings, when the king had that person whispering in his ear, she just totally sees. And the funny thing is, she wouldn't piss on John if he was on fire. Okay, yeah, he might want her to, but it's just she doesn't care about John. She cares about the only thing she cares about is watching John self-destruct on his own show.
Yeah, because she's a mess. Not even she. He's a mess.
Yeah.
So this guy Alva, whatever the name is, my 14-year-old daughter is very mad at him because he made fun of my daughter's guitar you see behind me. And my daughter heard that and told Alva that he needs to go F off. That's from my 14-year-old.
Yeah, well, yeah, Gandalf beats him. That's right, Crown Prince. But that's my new nickname for Alva, Grimo Wormtongue. Just in there whispering in John's ear, making his situation worse because she just gets him madder and madder. And then when he gets mad, he really doesn't. He just says awful things and just keeps going on and on about shit, calling people, fat and stupid and retarded. I would hope to think that he'd be better. Yeah, don't mess with here. This is for you. Don't mess with Poppy.
Yes, that's right. Do not mess with Poppy with an I. With an I. Never with a Y. Oh my God. If she sees that, she'll go nuts.
Oh, so I think Wormtongue just did a super tip.
Are there like sensors?
Why?
I don't know. I'll let you decide.
Well, yeah. Well, let me see. Hold on a second. What is it?
Oh my God.
Oh, it's up now. It's up. It's too late.
Uh,
Oh, I saw those.
uh,
No, that's fine. We could send those. We could send those through. I don't care.
Albert is a
I'll
very
take your money, worm tongue.
Here we go. There we go. First one.
Chauncey
Albert
is another one of these cocksucking motherfucking horse piss people, just like Grillo. See?
Albert is a very angry man, and
Yeah.
she needs to stop
And
smoking.
the next one is,
All right, next one. You ready?
yeah. I'll take your money all day
All right, popping up.
Here we go.
till I say so.
Let me get it.
Oh, wait, there.
Oh,
Well, look, Chauncey, I apologize to your daughter about the guitar, but you can go suck a cock.
well, I accept. My daughter will accept your apology, but I will not suck a cock.
I'm as straight as an arrow.
Not even,
too, by
not
the
even
way.
yours. Not even
I'm
yours.
Yeah, not
I'm
even
a
yours.
bangs chicks. I don't know if you guys are aware of that.
Wait, Quadfather, you have any interaction with Ava?
Oh yeah. She's been on BYB a bunch of times. Yeah, no problem. I always just wonder what the end game is with John and her.
Do you think that? Well, you know what? There's a theory that I have, but it involves something I said I wasn't going to talk about, and I won't.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean,
you don't,
yeah,
have, you don't have an NDA.
No. I said family is off limits on my show, and I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
So, but anyway, so Quadfather, why don't you tell everybody when you're going to be on?
Yeah, tomorrow night, 8:00 Eastern. Sounds like you might pop on there too. So
Yes, I
everybody
will.
come check it out.
I'm a man of my word, son. I'll be there.
Hell yeah.
Can I promote my book? This book. Then when it's
Yes,
out on
but we
Amazon.
can promote it. See, Chauncey's actually got talent. He writes things, and he's the only one writing it. I had a co-writer, and I'll admit it, but basically we wrote it together. But go ahead, Chauncey.
So Rebels Rock is
Get
an
closer to your
icon.
face. It's a little blurry. No, closer to your face, not far away. There you go. It's a little out of focus, but
That's all right.
Rebels, Rockers, and Icons. Yeah,
Rebels Rock is an icons. It's 70 of my best rock and roll interviews over 30 years. Great interviews with from Kiss to you name it. It's just everybody that's ever been in rock and roll is in the book, and it's just awesome.
When they could find it where?
On Amazon. Just type my name, Chaunce Hayden, and the books come up.
And what about social media? You're on Facebook now, right?
Facebook has banned me because they say I'm not me, but that's an appeal. So hopefully in a week or two that will come back.
Yeah, I wonder where that came from.
Yeah. I'm also on I'm on Instagram on the Chaunce Hayden 100 and Instagram X Chaunce Hayden.
Quad?
So, I could use followers.
Quad,
Yeah,
what
buddy.
about you?
Yeah, just BYB podcast. Check us out.
Okay.
At BYB_POD.
And Wendy, are you on any?
I'll just throw one more thing in.
Okay.
Hopefully, the documentary contract will be signed very shortly. And along with it, I've been musing. Chauncey, I'm not like you writing books. It takes me 18 years to put something together. Ask Grillo. He gave me his book months ago, and I'm still like on page 31. I'm trying though. But
He is trying.
I'm working on a book called From Coke to Snapple, My Life in Ounces.
Oh, that will be great. I'll put you in touch with my publisher. You should pitch that to Skyhorse.
That's
Okay.
almost as good.
They would love that.
That title is
Have
almost as
Grillo
good.
give me your info, and
Yeah.
I can send the pitch over to Skyhorse. Tony
You
Lyon.
have my permission, Grillo. Give him my information.
Okay,
yeah,
I love
yeah.
you, Chauncey. So
Yes.
nice to meet you, Quad. And
nice
I
to meet you.
see your producer is there, and I've met him.
Answer
before.
Pete. We got more super tips. There we go.
Three. They just
Oh,
came
good.
in.
Three super tips. Let's go.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh wait, I got. Oh my God. Anonymous. Chauncey, be a man and go on John's show. Coward.
I don't think I'm invited on John's show.
Well, even if you are, why would you get more people? See, this is what happens. It's anonymous, but I think it started because when John, when I had you on, John, I think got pissed because why are you doing his show and you're doing my fucking stupid show, and I think he was pissed about Billy West doing my show, And it's because these people actually like me. You know, I'm sorry. I'm not an asshole, and I maintain friendships with people, man, and that's the whole point. I am friends with people from first grade, okay? I am friends with people from my fucking high school wrestling team, my college wrestling team. I'm friends with people from the set of Private Parts. Okay, and I'm still good friends with them, in contact with them consistently. It's because I don't fucking burn bridges.
You got a good heart, Steve. You got a good heart, and that's why people stay connected to you. You just have a good heart, and that's why I was honored to write your forward. I really was.
I was honored that
I
you
meant
did.
every word. I meant every word I said in your book.
But I have to say, I always thought the best title from a book was from Mary Jo Buttafuoco, and it was called "Getting It Through My Thick Skull." And I think, and it's true. I said, and living with a narcissist, which was Joey Buttafuoco. But Wendy, I think you just came up with the best book title. I think you just knocked Mary Jo Buttafuoco down. From Coke to Snapple is possibly the new champion of book
Book
titles.
Snapple.
My life in ounces.
Literally. All right,
From,
another
gra-
super
from
tip.
grams
What's up,
to
Hanson
ounces. From
Pete?
grams to ounces.
Yeah.
From your super fan, here we go.
Okay. Who the fuck cares about Chauncey's book dick liquor? That's from Worm Tongue.
And
I am
another
not
one.
going to lick your dick, Abba.
Okay.
I don't like
Another one.
guys
Here
like
we go. Send it over, handsome. Okay, Ava. Facebook banned him because he is a cocksucking homo.
I don't think that's
Another
against
one.
their terms of service, by the
You know,
way.
just say- you gotta. I think someone's in love with you, Chaunce.
We got a fan. All right.
Okay.
Abba, I see us getting married one day.
Okay, just like you maintained friendships with Robin and John, you buzz fucker. Robin had no choice but to not be my friend. I listen. John fucking was mean to me, came back. Mean to me, came back. What he did recently is really uncalled for. But I knew it was coming at some point because I knew when I started getting guests that he would not do his show. It was going to self-destruct at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did hear him talking about you today, Chauncey, and he was like, "Oh, he went on with Grillo. Fuck that guy. I don't want him on anyway." And he was saying all that stuff. So you're already persona non grata. Yeah, you're not getting an invite, I can guarantee.
Oh, we got something going on here. I think we hit a hot spot. Go ahead.
You ready?
Yes, let's go.
Anonymous coming through.
Anonymous. Wait.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you didn't see it here.
It popped up, Chauncey. It's Chauncey.
It's for Chauncey.
You are a bundle of controversy, Chauncey. Why not get hair plugs for your eyebrows?
My daughter says that, actually. My
Is there
daughter just
such
said
a
that
thing?
to me. That might be Poppy. Poppy, go to bed.
That's all you do thing. All
All right,
cool.
we
Ready?
got two more. Let's go.
Here we go from Crown Prince Sebastian Johann with Ponte Corvo.
Okay, Crown Prince. Ava's obsessed with cock. Sounds gay to me. It's not. It's worm tongue. And another one. Let's go.
You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Ava.
Oh.
I love you, Chauncey, but Grillo can suck a donkey cock. If I could, I'd be making millions.
Well, you could. You actually could. You could do it in what do they call that?
The donkey show.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
And you can do it. You can do a show where you suck donkey cocks.
No, I think you got to move down to Mexico to do that. I don't think
Yeah,
they allow
yeah,
that here in the
OnlyFans.
States.
Just me, Grillo, and a donkey in a room.
Whoa, we could take a trip over to the Grand Canyon and do a mule.
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys, we have to go to bed. You know what time it is in Ireland? It's
We figure it's
1
8
o'clock.
hours from it's 8 hours from Las Vegas, so
It's 1 o'clock in the morning
It's,
here.
it's 1,300 hours.
Yeah, 1 a.m. for me.
All right, so I want to thank everybody. Pistol Pete, Handsome Pete, Pete Pitts. Was there anything that you want to plug? You got a website? You got a handle?
Yeah, they can find me Pete Pitts or 423PETRO right here on YouTube. I got a book, Path to Success. You can check it out, but I'll be back. You'll see me again.
Oh, I love having you here, and I'm gonna say thank you. I'm gonna take you out to dinner tonight for this. I appreciate it.
Okay, and I just want to say one thing because I saw it on the side here.
Yeah.
I hate the plastic Snapple bottles
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. It definitely took some zip out of the Snapple.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you
All right.
so much. We did 2 hours. I appreciate everybody coming on. Quad, Chauncey, Wendy, Handsome Pete. Thank you so much, everybody. And I want to say one thing on the way out. I do not hate John, and John, I hope to God from my bottom of my heart, please get some help because it doesn't really it doesn't suit you. I think that you can do better than what's going on. Your ugliness is spewing through. People see it, and maybe you could do something about it because you're just way too mean to people for no reason.
Get
And,
sober. Get sober.
yeah, I do something, bro. You got to fix it because I'm your friend. I'm your friend, and I'm not your friend. It's just too much, man. I hope that you get better. I hope your arm is okay. Seriously, and thank you, Scotty Wanderwood. I'll talk to everybody later. Peace out.
Peace out.